All right, everyone, it is time for high-level puzzle game gameplay. I completely destroyed the phrasing for that. We've got Puyo Puyo Su Remix by CosmykTheDolfyn. Take it away, Cosmic.
Well, yeah, as you heard it, as Amber said, as they so graciously called it high level. This is Puyo Puyo Su Remix. This is the second Puyo Puyo game, and this was basically a direct port from arcade to Super Famicom. And I played this version, the remix version, because the remix version was the second release of the game on Super Famicom, which added in the particular mode that we're going to be doing a run of, which is rally mode. And I've also got with me Ghost Kumo.
Hello, everybody.
And he's going to be helping me and just keep ourselves on track here. So I believe we're ready to get started.
We most certainly are. So this is going to be rally mode. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm sure you're going to explain what that means.
Yep, we'll explain it as soon as after the countdown. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. So rally mode was a mode that was originally in the arcade release. It was basically there to eat your quarters. Or it wouldn't have been quarters because this was only arcade release only in Japan, so I'm not sure what yen piece amount they would have made you lose
Probably
a lot.
25.
Yeah. But anyway, it's rally mode is all 33 levels at once. So it's 33 levels in a row of Puyo Puyo set to the hardest AI difficulty possible. And the drop speed increases between levels until it gets to the point that the game can no longer process how fast drop speed is getting, and actually holding down will start to slow down the game instead of playing at the correct speed. So, it's a little difficult.
Yeah, so for anyone who grew up on, I believe it was Kirby's Avalanche, or Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, those were sort of like Western-released Puyo games because they didn't really market Puyo to the West. Essentially, the Puyo series began actually as a RPG series known as Mato Monogatari, published by Sega, and they made a spin-off, which was a bunch of these little puzzle games here, these little blobs. And that ended up proving to be quite popular at arcades back in the 90s. So effectively, the Puyo series ended up taking, as the spin-off, ended up taking over the main series, and they haven't released an RPG in a while. This series, I felt like, has kind of always had a bit of a cult fan base, but never gotten super popular. But in more recent years, with Puyo Puyo Tetris being one of the very early Switch titles, it's seen a bit of a resurgence in popularity, which it helps when Tetris is quite possibly the biggest video game franchise in the world, not named Pokemon or Mario.
And in my case, my first experience with Puyo Puyo was indeed Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, so that Western release certainly helped introduce a lot of people to it.
So we haven't really got too much into the gameplay yet because these are just the really basic early levels that are pretty free. Essentially, the way that the game works is if you have 4 of the Puyos touching each other, they burst, and then anything above them will drop down. And the idea is you want to chain together Puyos. Similar to if you saw earlier today, there was a Sonic Mania run. There is a level which is meant to be like an homage to Puyo and Mean Bean Machine in the boss of Chemical Plant in Sonic Mania. The strategy for story mode or rally mode runs of Puyo games is usually pretty similar to the ones that was used in Mania. That is to say, although you can make incredibly big combos, which again you just essentially will like pop, you'll pop 4 of them, and then the ones that fall down are gonna, make another set of 4, and then so on and so on. The more you chain together, the more garbage blocks are going to be dropped to the opposing screen. That's what all the kind of see-through gray ones are. They're not useful for anything, and they just kind of get in your way. As they fill up the screen, that kills the opponent. Now, you can make some really big combos, but standard strategies will usually involve getting chains of like 4 and 5 rather than like really big, 7 and 8 chains. Partly because the more time you spend trying to build a stack that lets you get a big combo, the more time you're giving your opponent for free to drop garbage on you and completely ruin your plans, essentially.
Yeah, especially in this release, which I kind of had a bit of a misdrop already in this one, so it's going to be fun. But especially in this particular game, because the amount of garbage that you can drop versus the computer, what it drops, is incredibly unequal. So, like, a 3 to 4 chain can be enough to just instantly bury me and be game over if the computer does it, where to instantly bury the computer, I need a 6 chain. So you have to be like, I can't spend too much time doing setup. You have to try to keep moving, which makes it a little scary, especially when you're doing 33 levels in a row of this. But I have once I have once CC'd this a few times, so I've got some practice now.
Yeah, one of my favorite just like silly things with Puyo, personally, so the main character of Puyo is Arl. If you played, Puyo Tetris, you should probably know who Arl is. But like, you look at the old aesthetic of Puyo games from like the 90s, and they have like this old RPG aesthetic because all the characters were again borrowed from Mato Monogatari, which is an RPG. But then you get like post Puyo Fever on the DS, and then Puyo 7, and then by the time you get to like Puyo Tetris, it's like, oh, we're in little magical high school with all these little magical like middle school, and then you just have these RPG characters, and just the aesthetic combination. Like, they're just all there because they don't want to like get rid of old, they don't want to retcon out old like Puyo universes, so they're just kind of all there simultaneously. So you have just like these like anime middle school kids and these RPG characters just kind of together.
It's a good aesthetic. It works.
It helps that like the actual scripts of Puyo games tend to just be like they don't take themselves super seriously.
No, they
tend to go off the rails.
Yeah. So the actual storyline of this game, and I'm not making any of this up, is that Satan himself, like the Satan, has built a giant battle tower and is annoyed at Arl, a 6-year-old child, for stealing his pet, and tells her to come up to his battle tower to prove that, like, she's worthy and take his pet back away from her, and she just goes up the tower and beats him with Puyo Puyo.
So her pet is Carbuncle, the little yellow Pikachu-looking thing that you see on the bottom center there, and probably the closest thing the series has to a mascot character, if Arl herself doesn't count. As Just Lemris, who is also named for a Puyo character, pointed out in chat, American studios tend to not like to call their characters Satan in video games, so he just goes by the name Dark Prince instead.
Yeah, which, yeah, he's probably really sitting here like asking what on earth am I doing with some of my placements, because he's a much better Puyo player than me, but you know. You know, if you want serious Puyo tips, probably ask him in the chat. Don't ask me. But I greatly enjoy this run, so I keep doing it.
I need to not forget that the Sonic Runners, before they shut that game down, the Sonic Runners crossover with Puyo involved Eggman working with Satan. And his name was not Dark Prince in that, it was Satan. Which was even funnier, because he would call him Satan. And it was just like, really?
So one thing I do whenever I play, which isn't the greatest setup, is I get into this mindset of start all the combos on the left side of the screen, because especially as the drop speed increases pretty exponentially through levels, it starts getting to the point that in later parts of the run, you can no longer put things on the right side very easily. So I've kind of always gotten to this habit from the very beginning of the run to always have everything on start all my combos on the left side of the screen instead of like starting combos in the center, but again, we're not trying to get like the largest combos in the row, we're just trying to get enough to kind of befuddle the computer and go on our merry way, so...
Yeah, as you notice, all the Puyos actually start on the third column from the left out of the 6 here. And Cosmic already took 1 death here. Cosmic has run this game for quite some time, to the point where you've CC'd this game, how many, or 1 CC'd, or 1 credit cleared this game how many times?
I have lost count.
Huh. I thought you did a 1cc for the first time not super long ago.
So the first time I did, I took a year off of playing the game, and I came back to it recently, and that was my first 1cc in like that time frame. But my very first 1cc was like 6 years ago. So. So I'm not sure what the count is, actually. I don't.
Right on.
Yeah, and I have no idea why I just dropped that the way I did, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
This enemy has a 1,000-yard stare, by the way.
Hey, I mean, Santa's elves have seen some, they've seen some crap.
Are they Santa's elves or Satan's elves? No one may know.
Somewhere out there is a very dyslexic programmer. Just upset with themselves.
This is like the only time I can ever sit there and casually say Satan on stream and like people not look at me sideways. Alright, I might still get looked at sideways, but no one's going to sit there and be like, how dare you? It's like, no, it's what it is in the game.
There we go. So yeah, that was a long level because I had a purple and red that I was like going to slot in and be like, oh, that's going to be perfect for setting up a keyhole sort of combo, and I just really greatly misplaced it, and my head went, where do I put this now? Where do I go from here? But you know, we got through in the end. We've got yeah, this is a marathon safety estimate. We've got some time to play around. It's not
kind of throwing me off here. So I mean, I'm familiar with Puyo in modern context because I played Puyo Tetris, but in that game they only actually will use 4 of the 5 colors on any given level. So the fact that you're doing this with 5 is kind of like impressing me in a way that I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Like I just realized, wait a sec, there's 5 colors on here.
Yeah, old Puyo was 5-color Puyo, and it's so much harder than 4-color Puyo. What you get in Puyo Tetris, that's 4-color, and significantly easier.
Mm-hmm. Like they have all the 5 red, blue, purple, orange, and green, but they'll only use 4 in any given run.
Which, like, for me, it's kind of funny because I'm much more used to that. So, like, I play so much of the older ones that sometimes whenever I go to 4-color, my brain just kind of fries because I'm like, I'm expecting another color to just kind of show up out of nowhere. But, yeah. It is what it is. Like, my very first Puyo experience, which is a funny story. I did not like Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine at all the first time I played it, which I think a lot of people that was there, at least in the West, either Kirby's Avalanche or Mean Bean Machine was their first Puyo experience. And I did not like it at all, but my mom got sick for a little while whenever I was a teenager, and we had the Sonic Collection on GameCube, which does indeed feature Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and since she couldn't do very much, I taught her how to play the GameCube, and she got addicted to the Mean Bean Machine in the Sonic Collection on the GameCube, and I basically learned how to play Mean Bean Machine out of spite because I couldn't let my mom be better at me than a video game.
I was gonna say that whole story was incredibly wholesome, and then it started getting competitive. Man, you're trying to compete with your sick mom.
So the best part of it was why it got as competitive as it did was, this is a true story. We were kind of joking back and forth, like, who could beat the game first, because neither of us had actually beaten the game. She's like, I could beat the game. I don't think you could beat the game. It's like, no, I could beat the game if I wanted to try it. And she's like, no, I could beat the game. You can't yet. And I'm like, no, I could beat the game. And she's like, you go to your room right now. I'm like, what? She's like, go to your room. And she sent me to my room, and I was not allowed back out until afterwards. She called me, and credits are rolling on Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and it's like, I beat it.
Oh my god.
By the way, nice perfect clear on that.
Yeah, holy buckets.
Yeah, so a perfect clear, I think, adds like an additional... I don't know how it is in this one. I know in modern ones it adds like an additional several lines of garbage.
It
so
does.
if you can actually manage to get a perfect clear of where you clear out every single Puyo, it's just like mega damage.
Yeah, it's a really big difference. So, yeah, we try to get those as often as possible.
So I got someone in chat asking, are there standard setups and plays that every Puyo player should know? I can start and say with my own personal experience, trying to do something like rally mode versus trying to do something like playing against another player is a very different experience because there's very different strategies. But I guess for the run's sake, do you have anything to share on that, Cub?
So basically what you're seeing a lot of is a ton of sandwiches at the moment, and a few staircases, because staircases are incredibly handy to use. They're just really versatile, and it's really difficult to mess up a staircase. So even if the computer sends a lot of garbage, then you can still generally get your combo off. So just in rally mode, just for safety's sake, I do a ton of staircases, and you'll do a lot of sandwiches. Occasionally I'll go for a Hellfire, but basically all I'm doing is just the basic bread and butter of Puyo combos.
Yeah, I always forget what Arl's chain is. I know there's Fire, Ice Storm, and then I forget what's after that. I once played... It's funny too, because the voice lines get even more over the top. Like, there's plenty of them in this one, and, you know, that's charming for some, annoying for others, but I do get some enjoyment out of the fact that when I was playing Puyo Tetris with one of my friends, he was like, this might be the only competitive game I've ever seen where you're supposed to annoy your opponent to death. Because the sheer, like, combos are just spamming voice lines back and forth.
Yeah, that's a pretty good description.
And it makes me sad because there's Puyo Puyo Esports, which instead of the characters shouting their like spell names or whatever, or just random words, they just count their combo and then they end with like a finisher to like basically give an audio cue to their opponent, like, "Hey, I'm done with my combo now, and you better finish yours in the next 2 moves, or you're gonna get hit with a wall of garbage."
Yeah, and that is a change that was made in this. In this game, you've only got one move before the wall of garbage comes down. So it's like you don't even really have time to set up anything if you're like, oh, there's a wall of garbage coming. There's not very much you can do about it unless you've got just the perfect piece to launch your combo. So that was quite a wonderful just quality of life change. The fact we get now like 2 moves to be able to figure something out instead of just a single like, well, you're toast.
If I may interject with a quick donation.
Go for it.
I've got $20 from Burning Heat 857 saying, as someone who loves puzzle games with versus modes, I appreciate the aggressive Puyo Puyo play. Thank you for including this in the marathon. And thank you for your donation.
I mean, this is a really important cause, everybody. I mean, we all know the mental health stigmas that are just sadly part of gaming community as a whole, so you know, please donate to the cause. Please donate to take this, and please enjoy the marathon. You know, just get the word out there about this event.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, I can also talk a little bit about what Take This is, because it has been a while since I've mentioned that.
Go for it.
So just to remind everyone that this is Fast Pace for Headspace, and we're raising money for Take This, a mental health support charity for the gaming community. Their mission is to decrease the stigma and increase the support for mental health in the game enthusiast community and inside the game industry as well. And their vision is a game community that welcomes and supports people experiencing mental health challenges and that recognizes the humanity and mental health of game creators. And a couple of ways that they do that include AFK rooms and AFK online at both in-person and virtual conventions, which are staffed mental health spaces that started back in 2014, and then workshops, trainings, and consulting services focused on mental health literacy, maintaining good boundaries, and supporting employees through tough times, as well as their streaming ambassador program. And they are doing incredible work. And they compile a bunch of mental health resource lists, which currently boasts 14 different therapist directories and online therapy resource options. So you should check out their website if you type "Take this" into the chat. And it is very important to us that we, raise money for this. Thank you for hitting that, because I can't type.
So here we go back to great enemy design. So the mermaid's just sitting there at the top. She's enjoying her mental health day by relaxing.
Absolutely drowning in Puyo's. I mean, she can breathe, right? That's what the whole point of her. I forgot what this guy's appearance.
We got the this looks like a Sesame Street character that's been melted.
It's a very good description for.
I
think that's how I'm feeling.
So, if I'm remembering correctly, and if Lemurus is still in chat, he'll say if this is correct or not. I believe this is zombie.
It looks like it's supposed to be a zombie, but it's like half melted, and it's got like the big fuzzy eyebrows of like a Muppet. Oh my god, now we've got a famous painting.
So. The name on the screen says Zomb. So
yeah.
I would assume so. Alright,
we got a Kirby character here, clearly.
Yeah.
Probably recycled from Kirby's Avalanche. Honestly, in my personal opinion, I almost feel like it was probably a mistake for them to, try and use other names to cash in on this series, because you'd have things where it's like, you have Dr. Robotnik's Mean Machine, you have Kirby's Avalanche. People know those IPs. And I think they took the Tetris Attack approach of like taking an existing IP and then just slapping branding from another thing. In that case, Panel de Pawn became Tetris Attack.
Yep.
That one works at least because Tetris is a puzzle game, whereas it's like I think almost everyone who bought the Sonic Genesis collection or any of those collections just played it like, what the heck is this? This has like nothing to do with Sonic. And so it's like, yeah, maybe you got some people to buy the games, but it probably would have sold a little better on its own if it was just standard puzzle. I don't know. It's just my own personal feeling. Like, I came to like Puyo as Puyo itself a lot more.
Although I will say, the fun thing about having Kirby's Avalanche, at least released in the US, was that it canonically had Kirby speaking, and Kirby is just a jerk in that game. It is absolutely hilarious. And I mean that with like a capital J. Like one of my favorite interactions is Wispy Woods tells him, "Please don't step on my roots," and he immediately steps on Wispy Woods.
I've seen that GIF actually. For reference, I grew up on Mean Bean Machine, not Avalanche, so like I need to go back and play Avalanche just to see the capital J jerk Kirby.
It's incredible.
We got another question. It's like, how often do you look at your next window, and how often do you look at your opponent's board to gauge whether it's time to go for the next kill?
It's fairly often. Whenever I used to play this like daily, I used to actually play without looking at my own side of the screen. But now I spend about 50-50, I'd estimate, between my screen and the computer screen.
Yeah. So,
I actually really like. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I like the screen shake and the way the Puyo's clear on this on the elephant specifically. Like they just fall out rather than just dissipate.
Yeah.
So we have had 2 deaths so far. It's a bit late to probably make this challenge. I'll donate $5 for every time Cosmic takes a death. And I'll donate an extra $10. Actually, I'll donate an extra 15 and make it 25. I guess at this point, if you go the rest of the run without dying.
Oh boy. So yeah, but you just put a little bit of pressure on me. I like it.
Hey, we got Dragon Knight.
It's like baby dragon.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. That is Baby Dragon.
It's like my 57th favorite original generation Yu-Gi-Oh monster.
I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh. Probably should have.
No. Well, maybe the cartoon. Like the cartoon is like both unironically and ironically great. The card game itself is a money sink, and as anyone who's tried to buy cards in the last year will tell you, it's become literally competitive.
I mean, I live in Ecuador.
Even just get the cards. Let's be real.
It's not like I'm going to have like great access to cards anyway. I live in Ecuador. Oh wow, I did not want to put that center, but the drop speed like really increased randomly right there. Like I was holding left and it did not go left, so that was a fun surprise.
So here we are facing off against one of my favorite characters in the Puyo universe, Shezo, the guy who cannot stop putting his foot in his mouth every time he talks.
Yep.
Like practically everything this character says is either some sort of double entendre unintentionally or just the wrong thing to say.
That's relatable.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a relatable guy. I should probably just, reset this and, lose, but there's an extra $25 on the table now, so I don't want to.
It's just an extra 15 to round out to 25 total. I figured I'd issue some sort of challenge.
Well, now I'm going to have to. Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, but as long as we're underestimate, hopefully. So my my internet was being really fun right before the run here, and my setup, I ended up moving my setup across quite a distance to the kitchen area, so
I mean, it's been holding up so far so good, so hey.
but yes, it's like I don't have, so I'm now normally, you know, multi-screen setup, and currently I am a single screen setup, so I don't have chat or my timer up, because it's just like, yeah, I'm not messing with setting that back up.
Well, but my timer on my end is just a little past, keep it going o'clock. No, I won't tell you till the final time, because I want to get you psyched up or whatever. It's a marathon, who cares?
Yeah.
For real, though.
Yeah, this drop speed. This drops. I quit. The speed is very brutal. There we go.
It's not even anywhere near the craziest yet, so
Yeah, I know it can get much harsher than this, but like it is definitely ramped up since the run started.
yeah, it will get quite a bit more intense as we go. But I think I finally got past. Yeah, we finally got past him. That was a lot of time lost, but you know, marathon. Now we get.
There were some combos you pulled off in there I can't imagine you had planned, unless you were like 5D chessing.
There was some stuff I was looking at to be like, you know, if I can get this there, kind of last second sort of thing.
Yeah. So tell me what kind of goes into your thought process with each kind of stack you make. I know you said you generally will either focus on staircases or sandwiches.
I don't know. At this point, it's just so. It's kind of like after 7 years of running this mode, I kind of just go into don't think, just do.
Mm-hmm. Good old Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Don't think, feel. That was a very, very good match there. It's like after you know, taking a death on a Shezo, just completely wiping the floor with stage 28. That was one of the things that admittedly can make puzzle game speedruns a little bit difficult. Is just luck. Like sometimes you'll just have the god drops.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't go your way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, record attempts in games like this can be quite intense, because it's like, you have to hope the game gives you what you want, and you also have to perform very well.
Yeah.
Alright, on to the 30s.
Yep. So it's like there, I wanted to do something much bigger than that, but I kind of looked at it as well and said, Draco's starting to build up, and I don't like what Draco's building up, and I just cut off a combo that could have been built much larger just to be safe. Just in case Draco got any ideas. So, you know, you gotta do things like that. It's, but, you know, we win. Yeah, we got past Draco. I should probably learn a little bit of Japanese. I should probably learn what at least hoi 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 means, because that gets me every time. And I have no idea what that's supposed to even be. Just Draco screaming, hoi hoi hoi!
I would just probably just, as far as I can tell, it's probably just a scream.
It's such a weird little scream, though.
gonna say, because if it's koi, that means come. But like, I don't know. I don't have the audio playing for this particular level.
So here we go. These are the final levels here. This is now.
Wow, that was a really good Rulu.
Yeah. Sometimes it works out.
All right. It's time for satin.
Yeah.
Satin.
Moody Blues wrote a song about that.
Nights in white satin.
Just the two of us just showing our inner boomer.
Oh my goodness, they exploded into carbuncles.
Oh! I did a silly and I let Mr. Satin get a single combo off it. You saw how much the game was like, that's a lot of garbage. He got a single combo. You're getting buried. Because again, you know, rally mode is not fair.
So
We're at
is
4
his
deaths
new
now.
name just Hercule? Is that his new localized name?
Okay. That's pretty good. Yes, I mean, he has the right kind of arrogance, and he's just missing the afro.
Basically.
The Spike Vegeta style afro.
His name is Hercule Poirot. We're going to really mess up, you know, our boomer memes now. Add in Belgian detectives into the mix.
Man, that reference flew above my head. I was like, I think you're in a world of your own.
But here we go. This is
Totally not Satan again.
yeah.
Oh, we got Tuxedo Mask Satan. Okay, that's what we got here.
Yeah, so canonically he just puts on a mask after you beat him and he's like, you didn't beat me. It's like, yes we did. It's like, no you didn't, I'm a different person. It's like, yeah, sure, we'll beat you again.
Seems right.
So we'll hopefully we'll do.
It looks like he's about to do as much as Tuxedo Mask does anyways, which is absolutely nothing.
He's coming
no,
back.
never mind, he's popping off.
Yeah, he's coming back. But I have enough yellows here that I can at least save myself and access what I had built up at the bottom, and that's time.
Yo,
Let's go.
GG.
Yeah.
That was very entertaining.
Yeah, I greatly enjoy this game. I just love showing it off.
Yeah, thank you so much for submitting it. Like, when I looked at this run, I was like, oh, he's good. Oh, he's very good. And mind you, I can't Puyo my way out of a paper bag. I can Tetris my way out of a paper bag, not Puyo. So I was actually really pleased to have another Sega IP on the list as well. Because I was like, man, I have so much Sonic. I want more Sega, though. And then it's like, Puyo Puyo Su, why not? And my games committee was like, this is a great run, we should have it. And I have zero regrets.
Yeah. Well, thank you
Ironically,
very much.
this is the Super Family version.
Yeah, so the first version, the first port of this game, because it was Sega made it for arcade and immediately ported it to the Mega Drive. But the only home console release with Rally Mode, which is the mode we just played through where it's all 33 levels straight, was the second Super Famicom release of this game. Not even the first Super Famicom release of the game, it was the second release of it, which is why it's called Remix.
Oh, okay. That makes way more sense now.
Yeah.
I was just like, hey, remix. I don't know what that means. I was like, clearly this is not the first release of this, but that's alright. But no, seriously, like, what an excellent run.
I mean, I've seen Street Fighter. It's far from the worst.
Yeah, Street Fighter and early Guilty Gear.
Oh boy.
Guilty Gear Double X Accent Core plus R. Electric Boogaloo. But no, seriously, do y'all have any shout-outs or anything?
Puyo Nexus, if you want to learn about Puyo, that is basically a wiki explaining all of the basic combos and strategies that you should use. And it is an incredibly great resource if you want to learn about Puyo playing. Shoutouts to Ghost for being a nice young man. That's an in-joke. Don't think too hard into it.
Oh my goodness.
I can give a very brief, short explanation. We shared a hotel room at Limit Break 2017, and his mom called when he was out doing volunteering, and ended up getting to my room, and I answered the phone. And when she finally got a hold of him, she was like, "That was a nice young man that answered the phone."
Oh my goodness. All right.
Yeah, shout outs to my view out the window. It's incredible.
Ooh, actually, hold on. I have to. Ooh.
Yeah. Thank you for having this run. I really enjoyed it.
It's been my pleasure, and we've got more runs coming. Coming up next is going to be Supersonic running Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels. Yes, we have Supersonic running Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels. So if you haven't seen high-level Mario play, well, you're about to. And Lost Levels is definitely the more brutal of the two original Mario games from Japan. So we'll be right back after this quick break. Keep those donations coming. We still have Step Mania to meet, and we still have Bugsnax Bid War up and running. And Bugsnax is coming up after Supersonic, so you got like 30 minutes tops. So we'll be right back after this intermission.